All right, yeah, I can see chat again. Okay. Now it's saying that it's offline. So this is, again, apologize, I'm working through these technical difficulties. It shows that OBS is streaming, but it says offline. Nah, it's working. Okay, cool. I have some folks that have been asking me about risk to reward on my trades. And yeah, I mean, you guys can see, like, I don't use any bracket orders, and I'm not pulling a RR bracket or measurement before every trade. It's really just a visual thing for me. Like I know that if this, if the long sticks from here, I'm going to get good risk to reward back up to VWAP or back up to some, high volume node or whatever, right? So that's just how I look at it. I'm not sitting here with an RR tool or RR measurement in between each trade. I'm just trying to get in alignment with the auction process, and I try to let the trades run as long as I can. Kind of fully expecting another little push down here. Got half of a mini on. I'm willing to kind of hold this half contract piece because I feel like uh it's not really going to drop a crazy amount, but it might. There'll definitely be some stops here. Run, we'll see it show up as heavy negative delta right there. And now look for it to, if it's going to go up, it's going to recover quickly. If not, then we'll get a sell off. And I think the volume delta maybe down to 3K and trades delta down to -2. We'll just see what it does. Not again worried about price and how much heat I'm looking at. Just see where I want to add into this. I'm going to move these out of the way. Now, I guess the question is would I short that? No. Just because of how far it's dropped. I feel like it's pretty late to be shorting. I'm sure that you guys would agree. Something doesn't sit very well with me about shorting when we've dropped for, I don't know, let's see, 400 something points. I know that on most of our days, we're going to be hitting that, 150 to 200 point range. And now we're well outside of that, right? We're like, 500 something points away from where we opened at. So again, I'm always looking at the kind of reversal statistics and what's the average distribution for the day and things like that. So um, I wouldn't want to short this break just because I don't think it's going to break that much. It could, certainly could, right? It can be proven wrong. We've had some 1,000 point sell-offs, but usually those are with a news day. And I don't have a live news feed, so I have no idea if Trump's tweeting something or what else is going on in the world right now. What what did I say, Jay? It's better not to know and focus on the market. Are you talking about my gingerbread or what? Sorry, I was reading another comment. Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, it can be a bit much sometimes. They're so expensive too. Man. I mean, some of them are like 300 bucks a month. Right. Everything is kind of back in alignment right now with each other, which is normal. It's good. I feel like we are getting close to the end of this thing, especially since the VPOC has shifted down, unless it's just absolutely going to go much, much lower. Um, and it might. It certainly might. Yep, that weekly VWAP at 910 looks like a juicy target for sure. 910, 915 area. The session weekly VWAP is at 910. The RTH one is the one that we're looking at. Hey, buddy.
Can we turn the realm into the minigame world?
The realm into the minigame world?
Uh-huh. It's like a minigame thing. We can play some minigames later.
Oh, you didn't mean right now.
Well, I mean, like not yet.
Yeah, still. Oh, I guess I should have done.
Yeah, you could do cancel. Downturns. Alright, are people sign up?
Gingerbread? No.
I kind of want to start buying it again, but I'm going to wait patiently here for this thing to see if it wants to drop and give it some time to build a little volume down here.
Dad, you want to see the bow I made? Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. Cool.
Yep, then I just gotta put it in.
You just put them in the back on the table and then on the next day I'll straighten that.
Can you close that, please? Thank you. Love you.
Love you.
Told you we should have taken that short, Jason. Nice, man. Very nice. Yeah, when those highs and lows break like that, it'll move enough for you to get into profit quickly. Buy some here, but not crazy. Huh? No, I'm still streaming here, buddy. Still streaming. Yeah, we talking about a little volume cup there, a little LBN. I like that. I guess you're talking about the edge of the little HVN, so it looked like this. Come on, screen capture. Getting a little micro divergence here. Let's see if this thing holds. Like it's using recent volume. I think that that's good. Look at that the order flow is diverging. It may push down again, but not too heavy on it yet. I hear my data feed starting to ramp up, so that always like a precursor to something. So it's almost like it's like my computer gets another uh, dose of data here. So I feel like it's about to either really break down or it's about to reverse here. Yeah, I like it that the order flow is diverging up. It's could go either way. In my mind, I'm like, oh man, that weekly VWAP's right there. That's a good spot for it to tap into. But I also know that there's people that are watching that thinking, hey, like this is a good time to be buying, which is where I'm at, right? It's too late for me to try to get short on this. But it's perfect place to try to start getting long. So and that's how I look at it. Just try to get long when everybody else is selling. Jockey in and out of the positions, and hopefully I can achieve my goal before the day ends, which we still have time here. There's some days where you fight it and fight it and fight it. Maybe you're late or whatever. You got to the desk late, and then what I'll find is that especially at times like this, the MOC at 350 is when those kind of longer time frame players will start to buy it, and it'll really change directions then. I definitely was not planning on sticking around this long on stream, but nobody's put a gingerbread in front of me, so I'm gonna keep trucking. if we can start making some fresh highs here on this trades delta and the volume delta. That's what I'm looking at. Just realized that I've been talking without hitting my push to talk, so I apologize. I was just saying that I like the divergence that I'm seeing here. Trades delta, if it starts making some new highs, volume delta, this 2K level really holds and it starts to rally, then I think that that might be our reversal. We'll see. Just trying to be patient and not oversized to get the best theoretical average I can. Taking profits on little pops up, right, to keep ourselves in the positive and should put some Jeopardy music on in the background. That would be funny. There's some sellers there. It's about 600 something contracts that have failed to push it lower, so we'll see. Yeah, I want to get that little doodad. What do you have the tick set at? Or is it one per price level, or what do you have it set at, Jason? Oh, okay, yeah. I really just want to see the volume. I know, like, if there's, six, 800 contracts that are selling there and they're not pushing it lower, that's a good thing, right? That's big time confirmation for me. That's what I need to do because I think when I was messing with it before, I just had it set to one tick and it was too. I had to zoom in way too much for it. So I need to do something like that where it's zoomed down a little bit. Yeah. Yep. But it is nice to have that for sure. All right, let's see what they do. This is either it or it's not. Real technical. It's either going to stick or it's not. Yeah, for sure. $4.50. So basically, we've gone 500 points. We are definitely in the outer distribution extremes for what a normal day's range is. Now, we've had some, though, right? You guys know that have been like 1,000 points, but usually there's some kind of news catalyst for that. And I mean, heck, it could be another 1,000 point dropper. I hope not. I don't want to fight this thing the whole way down. It'd be nice to see it pop back to VWAP at least. Gracious. It's it's all right, brother. I'm not concerned about your spelling. I don't think anybody else is either. Yeah, tiring. I mean, especially when it's like this, you're like, dude, I'm ready to call it. But I know that when everybody else is quitting and getting off their screens, these guys will buy it up. Definitely seeing some absorption through here. Just don't know if it's enough for the buyers to get really aggressive yet. I like it that the trades deltas spreads opening up here with the CVD. I feel like in hindsight, this is like legit big boys selling. They're using limit sells to get out of their positions because our volume delta is just at 2K. So like that's not really, to me, not really aggressive market selling. So the sellers have been on the, you know, on the ask with the limits, just stacking them, and that's why we're not seeing a big follow through to the upside. I'm starting to get that feeling like, oh, maybe I should just stop trying to build into a long position. Start second guessing yourself. Yeah, more or less. I'm thinking that, you know, if trades are going one way and deltas going the other, I just see that as limit orders, you know, hitting the book. Could be wrong on that, but that's how I read it. It's just, I mean, it's trades, right? So I feel like if the trades are spooling one direction and your size, your market order size is going the other direction, I see that as absorption. I mean, they're still in alignment with each other, right? They're still kind of pointing down, but hey, Sahid, I just saw that comment, man. Yeah, I would love to get up there. I grew up in uh in the Pacific Northwest, so I'm used to being around big trees and big mountains and stuff, and I'm kind of in the southeastern part of the US right now, and there's just not anything like that. I mean, there's like the Appalachians, which are nice, but they're not quite they don't compare to what I grew up around, so I would love to get up there into Canada and check it out. Yes, please do reflect on it, Jason. I mean, you've really impressed me with like your technical knowledge when it comes to Sierra chart and everything else, but when I look through the documentation, that's how I read it. It's just that it's just reporting the raw trades itself and which side they're occurring on. So, um, but then I also had the thought, I was like, okay, if it's telling me that more trades are occurring on the ask side and we're falling down, then we could certainly be, you know, those could certainly be limit sells that are hitting the book. But I feel like when we get into areas like this where we're so extended one way or the other, that when the trades delta starts to diverge, that it just feels to me like it would be limit order buying. But as you know, just because there's a divergence doesn't mean that the thing's going to reverse. Man, I hope they don't drag this out to MOC. I don't want to sit here for the next hour and a half. I should probably just take my marbles and go eat some gingerbread. There's got to be like 1,000 contracts negative here, right? I would imagine on your little Delta profile. Yeah, it's neat, man. I would imagine it's just beautiful up there. I have a friend of mine whose dad used to take them up there. They went to an island. I forget what it was called, but it was up there around Lake Superior. They would go to this island and they would like stay up there for an entire week. This is probably 30 years ago, but they'd stay up there for an entire week. They'd have a canoe, and then they would, like uh, they would carry their canoe sometimes, I guess, different spots where they had to, cross land or whatever. But man, just some awesome memories he had of being up there with his dad. Oh, that's pretty cool, Jason. If you haven't figured it out yet, you are my technical expert. Okay. Ryan's the developer, website, app guy. You're the Sierra chart tech expert, so you can't go anywhere. Yeah, that's good. What's going on, Leon? These boys are laying down some size here, that's for sure. Look, it won't be much longer, and the VPOC will shift down again. Oh, guess he didn't want to stick around. Yeah, they're always the areas with the most pain as well to the retail trader. So I like what I'm seeing here, though. This is good. I feel they are definitely spending some time here for sure. I mean, there'll probably absolutely be some kind of manipulation and things like that, but I like this. probably hit negative 3K here, I feel like. Once this breaks. Try your short again. The trick with these areas too is really getting enough size on that you feel good about the trade, but not so much that you can survive through the manipulation that's about to happen. No, I don't mind you asking at all. I have a mix of Apex accounts and a personal account. So each of those has their own kind of risk parameters. I'm not trading the same risk across all the accounts. So, like my personal account has a much higher risk tolerance than the Apex accounts. I trade those very, very light. And yep, there we go. Come on, boys. Let's do your little thing. Let's go. Hello. So, can I have like some? Let's just have some of this.
Okay.
Are you still cooking gingerbread?
They're done. We're just letting them cool and then decorate.
My wife just put some food in front of me, but it's not gingerbread, so I'm gonna stay here and eat it. The gingerbread are out, so they're letting them cool off, and I guess we're gonna build gingerbread houses. I think this thing will sink here a little bit more, and we'll probably buy into it some more and see what we can get out of it. I feel like it's not gonna go much lower, but could be wrong, of course. Yeah, I just use the built-in trade copier with um with Sierra chart, and then I have multiple instances of Sierra chart running. So one for the personal account and then one for the the funded accounts through Apex, and that's how I keep them separate, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think so. I like it that price is just ripping on basically no delta. I think we have enough time left for it to get really violent on the way back up here. Let's see what it does. I'm always watching to see if price is making new swing highs and deltas or not, right? That's telling me that there's a lot of limit orders that are pushing this up. So every little bit of delta, positive delta, lifts price just enough, and there's limit orders that are kind of backfilling that momentum. See, we're not really getting any aggressive buying, but there's some, right? There's some. So it's just enough to kind of lift it up. So if price makes this high before the delta does, that's good confirmation for me that it's time to go. Oops. You can see how much closer price is to that swing high, right? Those are the same corresponding highs in delta and trades. Prices at one point was right up against it. So again, that's telling me that there's bid side limit order support there. And when that price starts to break that first, even though you're still selling it, right, on the order book side, that these sellers are late, about to be wrong. It's like a balance, right, between going with the aggressive momentum like we talked about at the open until the point that the aggressors are about to be wrong, and then going with those limit order, those the limit buyers or limit sellers. So that's the thing about it. Like it's nuanced in the sense that you can't just say, oh, you should always go with aggressive buying or selling, because at some point, right, basically at two times each day, if you think about it, if you really think about it, at two times in the day, at the high and at the low, generally speaking, the aggressors are going to be wrong. So that's how I look at it. I try to keep it simple like that. This looks to me like the people that are aggressively selling it are about to be wrong. And it's happening just above an old week's VWAP. So, I mean, it could sell down and sweep that. And yep, exactly. So next week, I'm going to focus a little more just on, rather than really kind of narrating exactly what I'm seeing, I'm going to try to just, again, really focus on good quality setups for folks. Um, yeah. This is the side of trading that nobody teaches, nobody accurately depicts, right? Like this is the work. You guys have watched me work for the last 3 or 4 hours, and it's difficult, right? It's not just all, oh, we swept this low and we got an inverted fair value gap and I bought it. Like, it takes a lot of work, a lot of skill, a lot of analysis to watch it over and over and over again. And I'm never trying to be right. Like I don't know what it could do. I mean, it looks to me like the sellers are about to be flipped here and momentum's about to go to the buy side. But, does that mean it's going to go all the way back to VWAP, or get above this high volume node? Not necessarily. Well, don't get anxiety, right? I mean, I've become inoculated to it. If I start getting panicked, then we've gone really far off sides. If I'm starting to get panicked about it at this point. Yeah, if it pushes through that little LVN, that'll feel good. It'll go back inside that high volume node and kind of go higher. My biggest losing day, I lost 155K on Apex accounts. That was last year. That was a painful day. Nowhere near that, right? I also had a day about maybe 8 months ago where I lost 72K in a day. So, you know, it's all relative, right? At this point, I'm not using my own money, and that's wonderful. So I don't get stressed out about it. I just try to read, you know, read the order book as best I can. And some days you nail it. Some days you kind of fight against it. I don't really like I'm fighting against it today. You start feeling like, you know, I got, I'm not going to say that I got messed up, but, we were talking about the weekly VWAP before, and, I'm like, okay, it's probably going to bounce there. But that probably it's going to bounce there obviously did not work out. And I wasn't super excited about taking a long, or I'm sorry, about taking a short out of the open because those previous view apps are below me. And you can't get mad, you can't get upset if, things like that happen. Some days you catch those trades and they run like the wind and it feels good and it feels easy. And then there's other days where you've got to wait through some chop and you know, it's all I try to be very versatile and very relaxed and agile in my trading, and I don't get super excited about it one way or the other. It's going great. The best people watching it. Trading. I'll be down here in just a minute. Trying to build a subscriber base. Yeah, it looks like the delta's wanting to go up. We'll see. I certainly feel a lot better about it if price starts to break out of this high volume node here. I know it's not for everybody. I've had lots of people come to me and say, "Hey, you were down $1,000 on that trade. Like, what the heck?" And it's like, well, you know, wasn't always like that. There were certainly times when I was down $50 on a trade and I had to exit. And it's, everybody has a different life, different amounts of money and capital. And I know for myself, when I start getting into P&L where I'm really panicked about it, and I'm, $1,000 or 2,000 or, 5,000 is not that level yet. And so I don't know. I'm just trying to show you guys how I look at it, and whether it's right or wrong, just hope you guys can use the what I'm showing you to supplement your already awesome trading system and help you guys grow your accounts. Um, I just prefer to look at the order book over anything else because it's the orders. And yeah, I've had people argue with me about how it's not all the reported volume. And I mean, if that's the case, if like somebody literally told me that, that 90, I mean, I think he said 95% of the volume, but he was like 90% of the volume is not being reported. And I was like, okay, well, I don't believe that to be true because just from my own personal experience with the markets and everything else, if 90% of the volume was not being reported, I feel like the exchanges themselves would lose quite a bit of credibility. It's certainly possible that 90% of the volume is being hidden from us, but I feel like there would be people screaming at the rooftops. Now, I don't know. He worked in like software, so he wasn't even really a trader. He wasn't a trader. He just started kind of ranting at me one day about how the volume delta is completely inaccurate, it's a lie, etc., etc. And I was like, look, dude, all I can do is try to trade the tools that I have access to. That's it. I'm just trying to do the best that I can with those tools. So I don't know. I mean, I trust that the exchange is regulated enough that they are providing us with, with accurate information. Do I expect it to be 100% accurate? No, not I don't. Even with the best data feeds, like, you know, things happen. I get it. But I don't get mad about stuff. This guy was really, you can just tell some people are disgruntled in life. They like it's like they choose to take on that persona of just being pissed off all the time. And that's not me. It used to be me, right, when I was a young Army Ranger and mad at everybody. But I'm not certainly not like that anymore. Let's see. Prices making new highs. Deltas are not following yet. Yeah. My trading, so back to your question, I just saw that. How long have I been trading like this? Really over the last year is when I've kind of fallen in love with delta trades, tick, and the more that I do it, the more I get away from horizontal levels on my chart. I do like, volume profile. Jason, there's another guy, Jason, that I've been chatting with here, and he's great, excellent trader, brings up some excellent points. And Jason, I'm talking to folks on YouTube, so hope you don't mind me talking about you. But, I think that this recent volume right here is the most important volume that we have. The recent volume, it does give us some clues about who's in control and how big of a conviction they have and things like that. It's when people get into looking at historical uh, volume profile, etc., that you're looking back weeks and months and you're expecting there to be stop losses and things like that still there. I don't buy in any of that. I really like to look at, what is the market telling me right now? And it's telling me right now that, hey, we dropped, spent a lot of time down here, built out a high volume node, and now we're kind of struggling to get through that. So, it's great in the sense that it just gives you a little more to go off of than just, a candlestick. So, he was short on gold, and I didn't see it. I think that he is a decent trader. Honestly, okay, so there's just way too much cussing and kind of, I don't know, toxic male behavior on that channel for me. Same thing with Patrick Wyland, like Wyland. I don't watch those guys because it just gets me, I don't know. I'm not in high school, right? So I don't need to be on there talking trash and acting like a goofball. Again, nothing from on Rips' trading. From what I've seen, he's a great trader. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not a character. Like my whole career has been, being a quiet professional. So don't get me wrong, I have my moments though, but not when I'm trading. I like to try to keep a good frame of mind and not get excited about stuff. I was kind of hoping that we'd really catch a bid before MOC at 350. I do not like dragging out my days like this, but it's okay. Yeah, I feel the same way. I've certainly not always been that way. I've had some days. I mean, I've had my days of slamming keyboards and things like that. Thankfully, those are a long time ago. But yeah, I mean, trading is going to bring out two things in each of us. It's going to bring out the worst in you, absolutely, because you're dealing with money and you're dealing with failure. But it's also over time, I believe this firmly, that it brings out the best in you. It has to, right? Yeah, I agree with you, Neat. I mean, I've seen Patrick DCA into like, 25 grand in the hole on trades. Like it not going to he's either trading on sim or he's, I don't know, but that just seems to me kind of crazy and a terrible habit to show people. Yeah, I don't know if those guys are using any kind of order flow tools. I've only seen Patrick use just regular price charts, so I don't know what Rips looks at. Oh yeah, I did see him start repping Bookmap lately. Again, I like it. The price is quite a bit higher here than the deltas in this case. Down here at the bottom. We're still up about 1900 on the day. So I'm holding out for this thing to catch a bid and go higher, but it could just drop all the way back down here again to this weekly VWAP, and we have to ride through another rotation of accumulation here, absorption. I want to show you guys this. So every time that we bounced was when the trades delta was hitting 1K. So trades delta is coming back down to 2K. But this area, right along through here, every one of these lows was because, right, algorithm kicked in and started buying it back up. And there's a swing low quite a bit higher. So this is what I'm looking at. And right now we're kind of getting back down to negative 2K. And I feel like, again, if price is continuing to diverge, that this may be the final push that we need to actually take it higher. All right, see you, Nia. Appreciate you coming in, man. Means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Try to keep these both in frame here. We can see got Delta pushing down. Price is kind of holding its ground here. Could be sell stops from people like me who are long. Liking this thing looks like it wants to hold here. This could be it, fellas. Could be it. Jason, did the VPOC shift down again? It's got to be getting close. Definitely have some absorption going on here with price. Looking like it kind of wants to make a higher low. And our order book is potentially offsides. I'm not going to bet the farm on this here, but I'm going to put a little bit on. See if we can get a pop up. Jason, what you meant to say was it tested the consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. Let's get our terminology right here, please. He knows I'm kidding. It's not like ICT will ever watch any of my videos, so if only I could be so lucky. Hello. How are you? Yes, ma'am. I will open that for you.
Yeah.
Katie, she has cookie icing.
These are
Hello. Oh, I actually turned it to FaceTime.
Let's go in here. Katie, do I have hard fingers? Here you go. I've got it. I've got it. Here you go. Which ones are yours? These are yours? Oh, these are wonderful.
She did a good job on her.
Yeah.
If you go inside of
Everybody does it just
for
yeah.
God, for you can get her to be it's good. Exactly. But
Had to step away for a second because my 3-year-old is finishing up her gingerbread cookies. He just is. He's just got that personality, like he wants to rub people the wrong way. So the people that in this world that have a chip on their shoulder, he's gonna polarize well with them. Let's see, we've got some absorption divergence here in price and the order book. Let's see if it sticks. Yeah, I know.
Every time I see someone down, I'm something down in this. I just used to it out one thing. Just started the game. It's still like a giant. Well, that's one of these coverage. Like, well, look at what you well, then he also plays with CVD. You could just randomly use them and I was cool too. But I just like you also just people say that's well. If I can do that. Sergeant said this week. Well, I did. That's why you did. Mama, are y'all gonna start decorating? Yep. Alright, I'll be there in like 2 seconds. Why the RP case? Why the RP case? It's on foul. The shut. You can use it. You shall see. Really? Anybody? Yes, yes, yes. That's the final. Somebody told us that was me. I like being able to tell you that.
All right, boys, let's do this. Let's show some commitment here, buyers.
I didn't go to the open spot. So in WhatsApp, everybody said you just got in a group chat. I gotta hide this really quick. I'm camping. Okay, that sounds like your team is.
My Discord is like glitching. What's going on with it? I feel like we're not going to get this move up until MOC, which stinks. Wish I could take the last 3 hours of my life back, but some days are like this.
Like you can hear it, like you don't like to do it, like you can. I got the power of architecture. I got the power of architecture.
Here comes the battle. This is the best like super music. I like it. Really like this test. I'm going to talk about this. My teeth are not down. Couldn't we go that one? All right, we're getting some order flow follow through here. Let's see if it takes it up. I can assure you that I will not be on stream this long tomorrow. I don't care what happens. Love you guys, but we're spending too much time together. That's right. Bar's got to close sometime. You guys got to go home. I'm banking on this MOC taking us up, but it could absolutely take us down, but I would be surprised. Whoops, I accidentally just grabbed that weekly VWAP, sorry. Gotta go, man.
Oh my gosh, oh, that's it. Yeah, I got it. They actually camp these guys out. Honestly. I feel bad that I wasn't really much. Actually, sick. We should all camp them. I've had runs like this where everyone camps and we don't eat for the rest of the day. So I just get to first.
What are you calculating that from? Oh, open interest. Yeah. Okay. That's insane. This, so are you resetting that? I guess the open interest resets at the start of the session, or are you doing that from the RTH open? I guess it's for yesterday's, right? It's a lot of open P&L. At this particular moment, no, this is sellers absorbing it, like limit sellers, kind of banking on this aggression taking over, and then also in like 9 minutes we have MOC. So MOC is just market, orders on close. Basically, they're coming in. So I think with the drop that we've had, a lot of people are going to want to buy it. So that's kind of what I'm banking on. There is buy side absorption though, for sure, which is that kind of this divergence here where price is higher even though sellers are aggressive. So I'm just kind of trying to go with this momentum a little bit more and hope the MOC takes us back up and it starts to break out a little bit. We've certainly spent a lot of time down here. That is for sure. Yeah, anytime that you've got this aggressive buying and price is pegged low, it's not going up. That's seller absorption. You're gonna see both throughout the day. Like here we had buying absorption, limit orders on the bid side. Here we had some limit orders on the sell side, right, on the ask side of things. We've got aggressive buying. You can see all the buying trades start to roll in, but they're still sitting on the order book with limit orders. I do not think that the trades delta is a one-to-one representation of limit orders. I'm just using it kind of as a tool between delta and price. So yeah, this might be it. We get the MOC pop here and might actually start to go up some. It's been a long time sitting through it. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's worth it to sit here to make, I don't know, a couple $1,000s, I guess, to sit here for 4 or 5 hours watching this process play out. Maybe I'm past the point where where I need to do it every day, but this kind of, you know, consolidation, accumulation, like it can be painful to sit through and try to iron it out, right? Yeah, for sure. And that's something else too. I mean, I had the thought this morning, I was like, I ought to just take the rest of this week off and come back, after Christmas, after New Year's kind of thing. I was feeling that vibe this morning. But it's like, okay, I'm trying to, grow the X following, grow the YouTube following, and I'll also give you guys some examples of how I use this every day. So I felt compelled to get on here. After today, though, I may just take tomorrow off because it is draining. It's draining to sit here and wait. I'm going to take a little bit off this. Then we'll see where MOC goes from here. Yeah, for sure. I do agree with that. Like I said, you just kind of become inoculated to it. My issue is that I've had like 4 knee surgeries and 3 ankle surgeries, and I broke my back parachuting, so it can be tough for me to sit here. I guess I need to get like a under desk treadmill, and I had a standing desk. I'm not currently in a standing desk, but get something like that that I can use to kind of, I don't know, walk, so I'm not sitting here for 6 or 8 hours every day. Yeah, I'm real curious to see what's going to happen here with MOC.
F2000. We should run F2000. Vector. We should run a DSM. A vector.
I'm gonna post something, Brent, just for my for kind of you to look at. Um, just a second. So that's just a screenshot from TradingView, but you can see how far we've dropped. So when I start thinking about like long-term investors, swing holders, and things like that, when they see a massive drop like that on their charts, right, they're going to come in and be like, ooh, I really want to be buying right here. So that's kind of my thought process. Those MOC orders will come in here in about 3 minutes, and I'm anticipating them to go up. Could go down. And if that's the case, then we just, we get out. But that's what I'm looking at. It's really just based, again, those guys are wanting to buy low, sell high, right? So we're definitely low compared to where we were yesterday and where we were this morning. So I don't see any reason why any of those long-term investors would really want to be selling this low. They might. So we'll see here in about 2 minutes. I just call it the MOC pop. I'd say probably half time I get it right, half time I don't. So we'll see how it works out. All right, we got about 1 minute to MOC. Thirty seconds. Like it that the order book is rallying hard here. Okay, here it comes. MOC. Some days it's not as overwhelming as others. There you go. I guess it pops up on. I wonder why it's popping up. Oh, because it's a 30-second candle. That's why. Okay, but that's what that is. Market on close orders. Did it? Interesting. Okay. Hopefully we don't take too much heat on this. We'll see. So that orange line is roundabouts where the weekly VWAP is at. The old one. Come on, long-term investors. Can't you tell how good of a deal it is right now? Like it's a fire sale, guys. Come on.
Well, it's like every time you go into a Ravens game, that first 2,000, like 15 minutes of it. I don't know. But I give you that.
Of course, I could absolutely get wrecked on this too. And that's just the nature of the beast if that happens. I get that our order flow is kind of retesting this K level. I might buy into this a little more. It's more heat than I would probably like to take, but not freaking out about it. If it starts to break through here, then we'll have to get out and we'll just have a losing day, and that happens. We're still playing with about 2,000, 2,100 in profit, so if I take a big L here, it's gonna suck, but I'm not stressing about it. The order flow is still very positive. Kind of retesting this. I find it hard to believe that they're not buying this level, given how far we've fallen. So this is where it's handy to have the tick, see what else is going on the equity side, but I don't have it up right now. Yeah, so it's hitting some extremes, not crazy, but more than we'd like. Equity is about to close here, so a lot of times there's like an uncoupling between equities and futures side. Once equities closes, futures is kind of free to run and rebalance. Yeah, it feels like it's kind of one of those days where it's sold off pretty much all day. We'll see. Bunch of negative delta, but price isn't really reacting to it yet. It's hitting RTH delta low. Maybe not pretty boys, but it's free to go where it wants to go now. So I'll start taking some off here, trying to get my average back down and let it ride for a little bit. Not exactly proud of that, but you know, sometimes floppy seconds is better than nothing, man. Let's see where my P&L is at now. Yeah, 3,500 on the day. So naturally, as soon as I mean, sitting through all that, like 3 hours of pain to start to get into a nice winning trade, it's painful. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes here, and then I'm gonna sign off. Probably at 4:15. See if we can get another leg up. If we can get through this little high volume node we put in. If it gets through this, then I feel like it's gonna pop through the low volume node and get up above these VWAPs. And so I'm no sense in exiting yet, having sat through all of that turmoil and the accumulation. So. Yeah, it really was. That's a good way to put it. All right, I will I might take tomorrow off. We'll see. Like I said, I'm trying to do stuff with my kids here. I've been on here about 5 hours longer than I planned on it, but I'll see you guys later. Really kind of an odd day too. Like we never really got that negative on our delta. Let's see if we can get another leg up here. I feel like after sitting through all of that, I need to try to be patient with this. I wouldn't be surprised if it rallied all the way up until 5 p.m. I can't stick around though and wait that long for it, so we'll give it a chance here and make another leg up or so, and then I gotta hop off. See if it gets through this low volume. No, I'm gonna take a little bit off here. Although I like the extension price it's given us. All right, Brent, I'm gonna close this out, brother. Hope you had a good day, man. Um, Apologize for making you guys sit through all that trash to get to where we're at, but some days are like that. Like some days the order flow is super clear and it's easy to trade. Other days it's a little murkier and you just miss opportunities. But I hope you're learning something, man. And I might be on tomorrow for a little bit, but I might also take the day off. We'll see. I'll check with my wife and see what she's got for us. But all right, you guys have a good night and stay safe. I'll see you guys.